Hi guys, it's Archie Luxury, and unfortunately I gotta make this video. And this video is a reply to Oisin O'Malley. And he recently released a video where he said, my YouTube channel is one of the worst YouTube channels. And he goes on to say, I'm chasing the super chats, which is true. I do the live streaming. But Oisin O'Malley, what a flawed individual. Very, very flawed individual. I got to tell you something. Not only, at least with me, when I'm biased, and I respect the bias. See, one of the reasons I did the classical arts, modern history, ancient history, economics, was so that you could reason and see bias, and you could see your own prejudices come through. But with Oisin O'Malley, you can see he's lacked formal education in being able to recognize his bias and opinion. And he goes on to say one of the best channels, which is one of the crappiest channels, he calls them a journalist. And it's with the Timok group. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. And I've got to tell you, I had a very soft spot for the Oisin O'Malley. I did. I had a very soft spot. He has charm, just like a used car salesman has a degree of charm and charisma. But whether it's buying a 10-year-old Vauxhall, a second-hand MacBook, you've still got to be careful with what shit comes out of the salesman's mouth. And in Oisin O'Malley's mouth, it's all paid. It's all paid. If he's your friend, he is offering certain carrots and enhancements. But if he doesn't like you, your channel is shit. He recently turned on one of the girls in the watch community, and Brit, and he says, her channel's not interesting anymore. It's funny how his opinion changes as he falls in and falls out with people. The reality is, Oisin O'Malley can be a real tricky son of a bitch to deal with. He tried to weasel out of paying for some watches. His business practices are less than desirable. He thought it was perfectly acceptable to accept money for watches he had sold in the attempt to buy them back and make a buck. And when the dealer got a bit shitted off, he then caused blue murder. He did, to his credit, to my knowledge, pay the dealer in full and moved on. And I hope this dealer's learned a lesson. Don't trust the drunk Irish son of a bitch. That's right, don't trust the drunkard Irish son of a bitch. I've succumbed to his charms as well. I like him. He's charismatic. Just like the used car salesman selling the 10-year-old Vauxhall. But I don't know if I would believe the shit coming out of his mouth. The fact that he says my channel, it's so sad that my channel's gone bad. Well, I've adjusted to a new medium. See, maybe that's why, maybe Oisin, that is the reason I never fucking heard of your band. Maybe that's the reason, because you didn't want to adapt to the modern age. See, you may love horse and buggy, but people wanted to go for cars. They wanted to go for fossil-fueled cars. See, that's what happened. And I got to be totally honest with you. the thing about Oisin O'Malley, besides the fact that he's a complete drunkard and madman, where it becomes dangerous is some of the fringe friends that he tends to associate with. And he has stated he has friends on the extreme right. I'm not talking Donald Trump right. I'm talking, you know the right I'm talking. And, see, the biggest thing about evil is it's the people who say nothing, see. So I really couldn't stomach that. See, when you see evil, very famous quote there is, you've got to respond and do something. Otherwise, you're just letting the evil exist. You've got to say, no, I don't accept it. Many years ago, one person in this community was the guy who wear the dressing gowns and made videos, a certain Simon. I really loved the guy. I loved his videos. I loved his slant on life. I loved everything about him until I discovered he was in a far right-wing political organization. I'm not talking conservatives. I mean really wacky fuckers. And I said to him, I said, you do realize two of my children are half Japanese, half Caucasian, because apparently under their ideology, they don't like to see this happening. And I find those political beliefs rather frightening. And I think you have to speak out and say, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I think you are morally wrong. And I got to say, with Oisin hanging around fringes of the extreme right, it's really, really wrong. I mean, the Jewish cause itself there, I've got to tell you, my grandfather was conscripted into the Ukrainian/Russian army, and he was captured by these Germans. He's captured by the Germans, and he was sent to, let's have a look there, the salt mines. He was then sent to a slave labor camp. It really was unsavory stuff, very unsavory stuff. And I don't think you can joke around with any type of fascism or extreme right-wing beliefs. It's very, very dangerous. And Oisin, look, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt because he is a bit of a drunkard and he pretends to be a Renaissance man where he's just a guy. He's a grifter scratching at an existence in the modern expensive world. So I've got to tell you, in all honesty, Oisin O'Malley, what can I say? I helped you so much. I did so much for you, and you shit on me. What a great friend. And I've got to say this. I mean, it just, your bias is what is so sickening. If you were fair, say we obviously aren't on the same team. I couldn't handle your extreme right-wing friends, the fringe dwellers. I couldn't handle that. I also couldn't handle the way the Blondie incident went down. I think your behavior was absolutely atrocious. I've had my run-ins with Blondie, but I can tell you this now. I would never dox the woman, and I would never speak badly of her because she still deserves the respect that she deserves. And, she fell for the used car salesman as well. She made a trip and visited you, and I got to be totally honest with you. I mean, that 10-year-old Vauxhall, you can't offer lifetime warranty, Oisin. I am sorry. It just doesn't work that way. So I've got to tell you, in all honesty, Oisin, I'm not disappointed. I didn't expect anything else from you, but the bias and the absolute hatred and the way you were so If someone's your friend, you say good things. As soon as you've had a fallout, their channel's shit. Man. No class at all. That's all I can say, Oisin. No class. And as for your extreme right-wing views, you have to stand up and say, I can't support that. I can't accept it. It's wrong. You've got to stand up. When people say nothing, that's when bad things happen. It's when they say nothing. So, Oisin O'Malley, I've got to tell you, I am sorry, my friend, but, you were really, really wrong. Many things, how you've behaved in handling payment for those watches was terrible. The Blondie incident, that was awful. She's a good girl. What you did there is despicable. And I've got to tell you the way you were so biased for your people who you like are great and people who you don't like suck. I mean, man, that's not classy. You are lacking class. A lot of class is lacking, and some of the decisions you've made there. I mean, I don't know. Just go back to the bottle. How do we excuse some of your major flaws? And that's the reason I don't want you on my show. I don't want you on my show because I can't accept the views that you hold there and the friendships you have with extreme right people. I can't accept how you treated Blondie. And I can't accept... I never fucking heard of your band before. I never heard of it before. And I admit, you've got charisma, but so does the car salesman selling the 10-year-old Vauxhall. And I'm sorry, but this video had to be made. I'm Archie Luxury. I will see you in the next one. I love yous all. See you later, guys. Love you to bits. Keep watching the Archie Luxury live stream daily, morning and night.